Next, we take a look at Flanders, a region that has established itself as a European leader in circular economy strategies. And our final keynote in this session will explore how Flanders and North Rhine-Westphalia, both recognized as circular economy front runners, are working together to develop innovative solutions that enhance resource efficiency, reduce waste, and create new economic opportunities. So, please welcome, of om het in mijn moedertaal te zeggen, welkom Bart Brosius, General Representative of Flanders, Germany. Thank you. Een beetje Nederlands gesproken, hè? Ja.
Does it work? Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be in Düsseldorf. So as I understood, I have actually 13 minutes before the alarm goes off. That's a clear end time for my presentation. Thank you. Thank you to the Circular Valley Convention, to Carsten Gerhardt for the invitation to speak today. I wanted to give a quick introduction. Okay. So that's me. A quick introduction about Flanders. Maybe you don't know, not all know of the existence of this region. We're the northern Dutch-speaking region of Belgium, and due to our geographic position and seaports, which you'll probably all know, the Antwerp-Bruges port, we have a very dense road and rail network, and we are actually very well connected to Germany. We have a strong export-oriented economy and 60% of the European consumer market within a radius of 500 kilometers. A few more facts. So we are a maritime region. So we have the port of Antwerp-Bruges, the largest petrochemical cluster, North Sea port, very strong in biotech, which has a bio-based Europe plant, and the port of Ostend, which the last years has been positioning itself on offshore wind. We have some stats on renewable energy. I don't know if they necessarily are that high, but we are a very densely populated area, so not that much space for windmills, obviously. And very important for Flanders, we are a knowledge region. So our R&D intensity is currently 3.5% of GDP, but the current government is aiming to go for 5%. And we have some important research centers, probably not as big as Fraunhofer, but for instance, we have colleagues visiting to the convention today, representing Vito, and I will talk a bit more about them later. And we are a region with such energy-intensive industry, densely populated, R&D-intense economy, we need to think carefully about waste management and the use of resources. So the government of Flanders has set the circular economy as one of the 7 priorities. And the Public Waste Management Office Agency of Flanders has launched the circular economy with Circular Flanders, which is the agency responsible for this transition. And so we have an ambition. You always need to set goals, right? So we have 2030. We want to decouple material consumption from economic growth. We want to have a reduction of 30% towards 2030, and very important, this is a public-private partnership. And the circular transition obviously is far too big to put on one slide. Nonetheless, the team of Circular Flanders has given me this slide and kind of summarizes how they work. So they work with 6 strategic agendas and 7 levers for this. So they all combine expertise levels, and they combine strategies with ways how to work with government, how to involve the civil society, how to involve private companies. And we really want to fit this within the priorities set in the Green Deal. I wanted to actually go back, rewind the time with 1 year, 20 February 2024. Industry leaders met at Antwerp for the Antwerp Declaration for a European Industrial Deal. And this was really to safeguard quality jobs in Europe. And this is a very serious message. But Europe's industry, as we know, face a challenge situation. And actually investments are needed to achieve Europe's transition to climate neutrality. And urgent action is needed to restore the business case for investments in Europe. So this Antwerp Declaration was presented 1 year ago, still in a different geopolitical context, when the United States, actually the American economy, was benefiting from financial support from the Inflation Reduction Act, or the Chinese overcapacity and increasing exports to Europe, putting extra pressures on European industry. You've all read the news. Every day there's new news coming from our transatlantic partners, redefining these geopolitical challenges, obviously. But the Antwerp Declaration presented 10 recommendations to the EU Commission. I will not go into them in detail, but they are actually they have a clear transversal link. But it's obvious that the circular economy is also a strategic necessity. Next, an important milestone in September 24, the Draghi report, which you've all known, about the future of European competitiveness, also naming circular economy as a very important cornerstone. So I'm just naming a few of the key recommendations from the Draghi report. We need to create a raw materials fund, pooling resources from member states and private investors. We need to implement the Critical Raw Materials Act fully and swiftly. We need to focus on clean, competitive and circular economy to ensure long-term competitiveness. And we need to address the innovation gap with the United States and China. And the Flemish government has quickly produced a position paper on the Draghi report, and we recognize the urgency of the report. And indeed, we agree that we need to work on this innovation gap, but we also need to create a joint European plan for decarbonizing and for competitiveness. Then a clear and also a realistic vision on strategic open autonomy. And obviously, subsidiarity is important, but the circular economy plays a big role in this. 1 year later, after the Antwerp Declaration, back in Antwerp, the Clean Industrial Deal was presented. And actually, it addressed already 9 out of 10 of the key recommendations of the Antwerp Declaration. You probably all analyzed the content of the Clean Industrial Deal, or you're still analyzing it, and the competitiveness compass that came along with it. And this also concludes that critical raw materials are key for our industry. And we need to integrate circular principles and circularity in our decarbonization strategy, which are really crucial to making the most of the EU's limited resources. So the EU will create a critical raw material center and adopt a Circular Economy Act in 2026. So very exciting news coming from the Commission there. And very grateful to my colleagues in the policy units in Brussels who have framed the view of the Flemish government. I'm looking at you, Peter. Thank you for the input. So the Flanders economy is a front runner in the circular economy that was mentioned by the introduction. And it's very important that we strategize the challenges that these sectors face. So the reuse and the recycle industries are facing big challenges. And important is that we need to have a level playing field. So work needs to be done to create a level playing field within and outside the EU. So products entering the market and recyclers will also face unfair competition due to imported recycled materials and so forth. Also, we need to implement the action plan of the circular economy, so actually apply the waste hierarchy, further improve separate collection, and importantly, create a market for high quality and safe secondary materials, and a single market for waste. We think the Circular Economy Act can help us do that, but very important, circular economy is not just about waste legislation. We need to induce a systemic shift. And we need to address this topic at the international level. So it's a very important job for our national governments, for our regional governments, for the European Commission to address these issues. So I mentioned that we need to have international partnerships, and this was a festive moment in 2023, and I especially want to thank the colleagues of the North Rhine-Westphalia government and Circular Valley Foundation and Circular Valley Forum, where this festive moment happened. Karsten Gerard as well. I already mentioned you, but I'll mention you twice. We signed an MOU. So you have the former Mr. President of Flanders, Mr. President Jan Bon, with the current Mr. President of North Rhine-Westphalia, Mr. Wust, signing a declaration of intent. Flanders has great expertise in the circular economy, and the Public Waste Agency of Flanders and Circular Flanders play an important role in this. And pooling these resources and these knowledgeable people, we work with North Rhine-Westphalia, NRW, where there is a lot of potential also to work on the circular transition. And some details of the MOUs, you can consult it online, but roughly summarized is that as a bilateral partnership, we want to start exchanging know-how, start pilot projects. We need to train skilled workers, and as defined in the Circular Economy Act and Horizon Europe and the European Science Funds, we can jointly apply for funds, hopefully. So this is a very important cornerstone. In this declaration, the intent was to work closely on the transition in the chemical industry, battery recycling, and building materials. And also, and this is a warm invitation for all the other regions and other countries that are here today with us, the agreement is explicitly open for other countries and regions to join. And he's not here anymore, but I'm looking at you, the Netherlands. So stay put for an announcement in the near future. I wanted to say that you can find us at the NRW stand, but actually they're all sitting here today. I wanted to name a few of them. So first of all, there's Brigitte Molyneux. She's a transition manager of Flanders Circular. We have Pieter Vervinkt. Is that the alarm? Very importantly, I mentioned Vito. There's Philippe Marnissen and Peter Willot, and they're here with us today and yesterday to find partnerships in research. They talk to Fraunhofer, they talk to other partners in research and innovation, and they are interested in working together within the framework of the upcoming Circular Economy Act and the European research programs. So I think this is really important that we also let research and innovation do their work. We have a colleague from International Affairs Manager, Stefan Verhammer, from the province of West Flanders with us today as well. And Chris Kastelein, Flanders Investment and Trade, based in North Rhine-Westphalia, and Carla Lahey, Director for Northwest Europe. And I actually wanted to tell you that you should not miss the talk of Brigitte Molyneux, which is not on this stage. So I don't want to cannibalize on the main stage to divert everyone to the to the innovation stage, but I would highly recommend watching the talk by Brigitte at 12 p.m. at noon at the innovation stage. So that was it for me. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be in Düsseldorf, and to be in North Rhine-Westphalia, and for sure, maybe we see each other in Wuppertal in November. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bart. Come down. Yes.